I'm Shayla Thompson, your host and your new business bestie, here to help you boss up your finances without the boring lectures. Whether you're trying to stack your savings, invest smarter, or turn that side hustle into a full blown empire, you're in the right place. No confusing jargon, just straight up money talk, real strategies, and good vibes. Let's get to the bag and build this wealth together. Hit play, take notes, and let's run it up.
Hey, but if you two are roommates, who's that? I need money.
Leroy Brown beats on the track.
Okay, but what's his name?
I need money. Doesn't talk, how come he?
I need money. He's a mute. When we first hooked up, he wrote on a slip of paper, I need money. I said, shit, me too. We started making it together after that.
Where he staying?
What's up, business besties? Welcome back to PCT Money Talk, the podcast that keeps your coins cute, your credit score high, and your financial future looking amazing. I'm your host, Shayla Thompson, and today we're talking about something real: money and your mindset. One thing that we do not talk about enough is how your money grows when you grow. If you want financial stability, financial freedom, and financial peace, it all starts in your mind. Because, besties, let's be real. You can't build wealth with a broke mindset. So today we're driving. All right, business besties, let's talk some truth. Your financial situation is a complete reflection of your mindset. If you believe that money is hard to get, you will always struggle. If you think that being broke is normal, you will not push back to break the cycle. But when you start thinking like a wealth builder, that's when everything starts to shift. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. I had to learn that myself. Picture this: 17-year-old girl finds out that she's pregnant by we're not even going to go there. But my first move was to graduate high school. So I went ahead and got my GED. I know it's not ideal. Hey, never walked the stage. Anyways, life went on. I ended up getting my first apartment the day I turned 18. As soon as I got the GED, I went and got a job. So within that 6 months time frame of finding out that I was pregnant and turning 18, I had a job, I had an apartment. Hey, but I didn't have it all together because within 3 months, I was evicted from that apartment. I realized very quickly how expensive it was to raise a child and live on my own. So I did have to rethink that. My first apartment was so expensive it would make your head spin. But to me, it sounded like a great idea. The next apartment that I got, I knew that I needed to move fast because the eviction was going to show up on my credit report. Yes, I was thinking like this at 18 years old. So I went and got a more cheaper apartment in a less likely side of town, but I could afford it. I ended up living there for about 2 to 3 years. There was a time in my life where, well, a long period of time in my life where I had a job, was paying bills, I was doing okay. And then I realized that I was only surviving. Surviving was not my goal. Surviving was on my back for so many years. But surviving was the thing that ticked for me. I wanted to thrive instead. That's when I realized I'm doing okay, but I could be doing better if I made smarter moves. So I started reading books, a lot of books. I started going to seminars, a lot of seminars. And instead of crying every night like I used to, upset and mad at my family because they never taught me anything, or they didn't know and they didn't share with us, or, no one talked about finances. So I'm like a struggling adult. So for many years, I did blame how I grew up. But one day I had to realize there are so many resources at our fingertips. How you grew up doesn't even matter anymore in these days. Back in the days, they had zero access to anything except for their family. We have YouTube. We have books. Audio books at that. So even though I was stuck at a dead end job, during that time, I was reading audio books every chance that I got. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, How to Become a Highly Effective Person, you know? So I started listening to financial experts. I started to, like I said, go to seminars and surrounded myself with people that talked about investing in credit and ownership because that's what I wanted so dearly. And you know what? The knowledge changed my bank account. After years of implementing what I've learned, and yes, it does take years, you guys. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. Your mindset didn't start this way overnight, so it's not going to change overnight. But you can take the first step today. Here's your takeaway. If you want more money, better opportunities, and financial peace, start by upgrading your mind. Wake up in the morning and tell yourself you deserve it. The reason that you're having this dream, the reason that you want more, is because it's already yours. And the more that you talk positivity to yourself, the more ideas will flow to you. You don't realize how much you're blocking yourself from making those steps by the way you're thinking. After reading The Art of War, you'll realize that the only true way to get to where you want to be is by being authentic. Every single king in The Art of War ended up being killed by another individual who wanted to take their place. But when you start something that way, of course, it's going to end that way. Now, when I did read The Art of War, what I did notice that it was a lot of mind work. And so that was the part that I took away from it. I decided that I wanted to build a company that has the values that I believe in and treats their employees amazing and understand that when their employees are working for them, they should have gratitude towards someone investing and pushing their business forward. I went through so many employers where I gave them absolutely everything that I had. And I realized, what if I put all of the energy that I'm putting into working for somebody else into something that I love myself? And honestly, that's how PCT Professional Services was born. I took the skills that I already knew how to do and I started to research how to market. I started to research how to build a brand. And then I hit the road running. 3 years straight, I worked my back out. But eventually, I'm now at the place where I'm needing help. And I'm actually excited about that. So I'll be hiring VAs and I've been training them this week and it's been fun. I get to treat people how I want to treat people. And when I build this company up the way I see it and vision it, I am going to put so much energy into the people who believe in my vision as well. All right, y'all. On to our next segment, Business Besties. Let's dive into a question from one of our listeners. I make decent money, but I always feel broke. No matter how much I earn, no matter how many raises I get, it seems like it's not enough. What am I doing wrong? All right. This is a real one. And I know a lot of us feel the same way too. There was a point where right before I started my company, I was making the most money I've ever made at at any job, and it still was not enough. I did realize that some of my spending habits did need to adjust because it seemed like once I made a little bit more money, I felt like I can have a little bit more things, and then I was back in the same place that I was before I even got the raise. Here's the truth, y'all. Making more money will not fix bad money habits. So, if you don't know where your money is going right now, it really doesn't matter if you make 400,000 for that fact. You'll always feel broke. So, right now, if you are really serious about making a change in your life, it's time to track your money. It's time to sit down, whip out the spreadsheets, or if you're a pen or paper type of guy, go ahead and do that. But it's time to sit down and see exactly where your money is going. And then you're going to want to look at those areas and determine what areas we can get rid of. And since you're already spending the money anyway, how about we reallocate where that money is going and put it in places where it's going to elevate you, make money babies, and that's what you're going to want to do for that situation. I was there. I've been there too. Now, I'm not even going to hold you like I've never been there. There was a point in my life, like I said, I was making more money than I ever made. And to me, that was like $28 an hour. And it still wasn't enough. And I said that that was my goal. Oh, when I make $28 an hour, I'm gonna be good. When I make $32 an hour, I'm gonna be good. When my now I'm at when my company brings in $15,000 a month, I'll be good. But the more money you make, the more responsibilities come with that. So just keep that in mind. All right, y'all. I'm gonna need for you to take away these tips. Track every single dollar. If you do not know where your money is going, how are you gonna control it? How are you gonna budget? How are you going to stay in ahead? Start budgeting, besties. Pay yourself first. Before you pay a bill or shop, put money into savings and investments. That's what they mean when they say pay yourself first. A good book to read on this is Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you have not read it yet, it's an ancient book. It's been around for and I think it'll stay around to the end of times, honestly. I've read it at least 15 times because the lessons in it is beyond me. Break the cycle, y'all. It's time for us to break this cycle. We cannot keep doing the same stuff expecting different results. That's insanity. So if you're waking up every morning, you're going to bed upset every night, it's time to make a change. You don't have to waste your life away, regardless of how we grew up, regardless of who did us wrong, regardless of anything. This is your life. You are in control. And if you can't take big steps, take baby steps. And if you don't have a lot of money, you need to invest a lot of time. If you have a lot of time, it's no excuse. If you grew up watching people live paycheck to paycheck, it's time to unlearn that. We were taught wrong. We were taught so wrong. From the little city that I came from, there was one huge company in the city. They were Lockheed Martin. That was the end goal for everyone that was around me that raised me. It was go work at Lockheed Martin. Put money in your 401k, retire. And if I ever mentioned, as I was growing up, I would mention, oh, I think I want to do this, or I think I want to do that. I think I want to start a business. I think this will be, I was passionate. I wanted something more. I was very creative. So I did ended up going to Lockheed Martin. I did end up working there for 5 years. And it was the most miserable experience of my life because I'm sitting there making millions for a company. I'm sitting there doing the same exact thing every single day, and it ate me up inside. There was so much passion. There was so much vision. There was so much determination in me. I just didn't know where to put it. So I would journal every day about what I wanted my life to look like. And guess what, guys? I got that ring. I got that husband. I got that child. I actually got two. And I got the business. So wealth is about ownership, investments, and passive income. We are living in a time where opportunities are endless. And I hate when people say, oh, it's already so many people doing it. I want you to Google how many people it is in the world. I want you to Google how many people that it is in the United States. All you need is 500 of them. I want you to Google how many people are in your hometown. All you need is 100 of them. So getting rich isn't about being the biggest. It isn't about being the best. It's about being the one that shows up. And if you keep showing up, you become familiar. You realize that consumers, they are a idea of people, like a group of people, like consumers, like their DNA is to consume. Their objective is to wake up and buy. And the people that have visions and passions and, these are the people who create. So if you're in that job and you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like every day that you wake up, you're already exhausted. Every day that you wake up to go there, you're already irritated. As soon as you clock in, you're ready to clock out. Like that means that you may be one of the doers. You may be one of the ones that have a vision buried inside of you, and it's time for you to allow it. The goal isn't to make more money. I tried that. I was at a point where I was working 3 jobs plus running my business on the side because I felt like more, more, more. But it's not more. It's learn how to keep and grow what you have. There were many years where my business was profitable, but just feeling guilty for, just having when you, give me a minute, y'all. So when you have people around you, right, and they are not where you are and you're excelling, that guilt starts to creep in. So I felt that I needed to give them money and I needed to just give because I wish somebody would give to me. And I was thinking to myself, like, well, if I give, then they'll do something to help better themselves, right? And then we'll all eventually be at the same place. Yes, I had that thought. But I realized, no, I'm not at that place yet. I'm not at the place where I can just give out money, even though I'm making a nice couple of extra $1,000 that I never had access to before. I still don't consider myself there yet. So I had to learn how to keep my money, reinvest my money back into the business so that my business could grow. All right, y'all. Now let's talk what happens when you start thinking differently about money. When your mindset shifts and your financial habits flow, you start saving, you start investing instead of spending mindlessly. For example, last year, I had no idea where any of my money in the business was going. I had so many apps, I had so many things coming out, I had so many people to pay, and I was not keeping track of much of anything. This year, I said, I'm going to look at every single thing that I'm currently doing. I'm going to make sure that it's either furthering me or I'm going to cancel it or get rid of it. And when I tell you my bank account has just grown, it's not a bunch of stuff going in and going out. I had to change my mindset. Eventually, as soon as I start making money, I get antsy. I feel like I need so many things, and you really don't. So, what I did was I completely separated my bank accounts, meaning that my business bank account and my personal bank account are not at the same bank. Why? Because I found myself making too many transfers because the money was too accessible. Now I've hired myself as a W-2 employee. So this means that I get paid whatever my pay rate is, just like everyone else that works for me. And that means that I do not just freely have access to transfer money to myself between my business and personal bank account because they're no longer at the same bank. Now I have to wait for my paycheck. So that's something that I did to change my mindset so that my business can grow. If you're seeing your 9 to 5 as a tool to build wealth and not just a paycheck, listen, hire a VA, but don't quit your job. We still need health insurance. It's expensive. We still need some of the perks that come with employment. But we do not have to look at it as an end all be all. Your 9 to 5 is a tool to help you build wealth. We're trying to add multiple streams of income. Your 9 to 5 is still a stream of income. Don't do too much now. You got to stop feeling guilty. You got to stop feeling guilty about making more money because you know wealth is a blessing, not a burden. We have to look at it differently. When I was growing up, it did come across as a burden. It felt like as soon as I made money, there were 9 people behind me who needed money. And I felt that I was doing too well not to help. But I realized very quickly that the more you do that, the faster you go broke. And then those same people are still in the same situation that they were when you helped them. And they cannot pay you back still. Business besties, financial stability isn't just about a big paycheck. It's about having control over your money. And that starts with you. Y'all know I got to bring the Bible wisdom in here for us because God wants you to prosper, not struggle. Proverbs 13:22 says, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. No, let me say that one more time. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. We're building legacies, and that is okay. That means we're not just making money for today. We're building legacies for many generations behind us. So if you are, or if you've been feeling really stuck financially, pray for wisdom. Start learning and take action. Because faith without works is what, besties? Dead. All right, before we wrap up, here's your money mindset Homework: write down your money goals. Do you really want that house? Are you really going for a six-figure business? Is debt relief really your goal? Well, put it on paper. Track every single dollar this week. I want you to know every time you went to McDonald's. I want you to know from the time your paycheck hit your bank account to the time that you spent even the smallest coin. Understand where you are financially right now. Check that credit. Go ahead and pull your credit report. The link is in my description, bio, wherever you're listening. We need to know where we financially stand to be financially wise. Go ahead and write this affirmation down for me. I am financially wise and my money grows with me. Read it every day that you wake up and watch ideas start to flow with you. No, it's not going to happen overnight, but one of these nights it will happen if you stay consistent. And if you're serious about leveling up your credit and finances, hit up PCTmoney.com and start your journey. We have our Elite 800 credit program where we're changing lives. If this episode spoke to you, share with a friend, leave a review, and let's keep this money conversation going. Until next time, keep your money mindset growing, your credit score glowing, and your money flowing. Love y'all. Peace out. That's a wrap, business besties. Thank you for tuning in to PCT Money 101. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday, so don't miss out. Stay connected and keep leveling up. Follow my business page at PCT Service Tax, where I go live dropping free gems on all things money and taxes. Like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your people. We're building wealth together. Follow my personal page at PCT Money CEO to get to know me and my family outside of work. Get freebies when you sign up for my email list at pctmoney.com. Plus, my ebooks are on sale now, so grab yours. Got questions? DM me or email taxhelp at pctpeoplestax.pro and I'll answer them right here on the show. See y'all next time. Keep grinding, keep growing, and let's secure this bag.